All right, what's up, guys? Uh, Today I'm gonna rip some pug drafts. That's what I'm gonna rip first. At least I might do all three on stream, but I'm at least gonna rip one of those, and then maybe I'll do some. I might do some of the super flex after. Kind of depends if some people get in here want to rip like something else, and I'll go for that too. Oh, what's up, Fantasy Football Garage, Candyman? What's up, man? Um, So I'm just gonna go over the structure real quick, and then I'm probably just gonna hop right into the 20 second. Um, so this one's 2 out of 12, just like normal, and then 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, then 124 seat final. So I'll rip it similar to just like a puppy BBM, like just regular puppy, regular BBM. Maybe worry a little bit less about week 17, but pretty much all the same stuff. Um, So I think, JT Best Ball, GM. I will try and get in. All right, cool. Yeah, it'll be fun to draft against you. Um, all right. So I think I'll probably just hop right in. So structure 2 out of 12, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5 shouldn't be too hard. I'll count it down real quick. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Snap filled. Uh, says the 22nd pug. Did all right? Did you get in, JT? Oh no. All right, sorry, man. It's like it like snap filled on that one. Um, I'm gonna if you're around like in a little bit, I am gonna rip a couple more of them, but sorry about that. I must have been like the 12th person in that room. That Oh, and I got the 101, so I'm just gonna grab Chase here, I think. Just kind of drafting it like normal, but I think that's just usually the go-to. No, dang, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Uh, all good. Yeah, you just have been 12. Yeah, yeah, it must have been. It was like instant fill. Fantasy Ball Garage. I think he did that on purpose. Yeah, no, I planned it. I was counting the entrance. I was waiting for it to hit. Boofy. Oh, I haven't seen you in here yet. Thanks for joining, man. Boofy, I feel bad for pugs that have breathing problems. Yeah, yeah, no, it must be a tough life being a pug. That's a good one. Uh, Fantasy Football Garage didn't want another sharp drafter to get in. Yeah, that was kind of the plan. I mean, you see, most of these people they ain't got no badges, so maybe I'll get a little bit of a soft room. That was kind of the plan. Jason Calhoun, I got one left. I'll join the next one if you do too. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna rip another one after this for sure. So yeah, yeah, definitely. If you want to hop in for sure. Boovie, LOL. Yeah. JT Best Ball probably can't the next one, but yeah, some other time. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, sorry you couldn't get in this one, but yeah, I mean, it's only a 3 max anyway, so I figured just get him in, and then this one's not filling too quick. I think this one's only at like if I look real quick, I think it's only like around 30% full, 32 and a half. So this one should be open for a little bit of time, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to rip them. I got my hound dogs in like last night and this morning before it filled. So, oh, let me pull up the board real quick too. But yeah, I got my hound dogs in like last night before it filled. So I kind of wanted to get some of these in. I'll do at least two on this stream. I might just do all three. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I figured I don't know, I kind of wanted to get some of them in. It's nice. I like when Underdog does these like smaller contests. They have the real good advanced structures, not super big finals. So I don't know, like contests like this, I definitely want to max just because I think they're your best odds at like realizing your EV. If you are a good drafter, you don't get a ton of shots at it, but these are your best odds as far as like advancement. You're not going to be in a pot of, I think BBM's like 1 of 16 and 1 of 13, or like a puppy's 1 of 10, 1 of 10. You have way better odds of realizing your EV in something like this. And the price point isn't really too hard to get in either. So So I'm definitely maxing anything like this, the Hound Dog, any of that smaller entry stuff. I really like it, especially with the good advancement structure. Um, Goofy, did you listen to Elvis while doing the Hound Dogs? Yep, yep. I was playing some Elvis in the background. I was actually I made a thumbnail actually for the Hound Dogs. I was thinking about doing them on stream, and I did put Elvis in like the little corner with the the little quote, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog." So I was thinking the same thing. Oh, what up, Putt Daddy? Thanks for joining, man. JT Best Ball, yeah, great tournaments. Yeah, yeah, I just really love those. Oh, so I'm on the clock real quick. Um, so I like grabbing an anchor running back here. So I'd be open to like Bucky or Jacobs. I don't really have any correlation, so I'll grab Bucky. That's fine with me. And then I could grab Marvin Harrison to go with my Jamar Chase. I'm gonna grab Tyreek to go with my Bucky because I think maybe with Jamar Chase, maybe that's a little bit less common of a duo to grab Tyreek with Bucky because Miami plays Tampa Bay. Um, I could have went Marvin Harrison to go with my Jamar Chase, but maybe that's kind of a little different way to play it. And I don't really view Tyreek Marvin Harrison very much different anyway, so I don't know. It might be a little bit interesting way to play it to kind of build up that Miami Tampa Bay game instead. Um, oh yeah, but like JT Bestwell was saying, yeah, like these tournaments with the just with that advancement structure, like the 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6s, it just gives you so much of a better chance if you do build a strong team to actually make it to the finals. And when like if you do make it to the finals, it's not very big. I believe in this contest it said 124-person final. So it's really not too bad. Like if you make it, your odds aren't too bad, and just your advancement, it feels like you have a lot better chance in this than a lot of the real large field, which makes sense. There's a little bit less up top. I think there's only like I believe this is 40,000 up top for the pug, and then the hound dog was yeah, this one's 40, and then the hound dog was 20. So you're maybe not playing for as much, but it's only 3 entries to max it, so you can max it pretty quick. So yeah, anything like this, I'm definitely gonna be maxing. Um, oh yeah, so kind of back to like what I was doing though. So I started Jamar Chase, Bucky Irving, Tyreek Hill. And I think that's like kind of my general start if I'm on this front half is to get a running back and 2 receivers is how I like to build it most of the time. I think a lot of the times like you're kind of looking like these running backs like Jacobs, Bucky, and JT if he kind of falls back in here. They're kind of maybe a tier above the other guys where you expect them to have just some more upside, especially with like Jacobs and JT, maybe more volume. Bucky's only a second year player, so maybe more like upside. But I really like getting that anchor. And then that way I can kind of like I'm kind of more open on this turn on the 4-5 because if I don't get Bucky, if I go 3 receivers, I don't really want to start 5 receivers straight. And like the running backs might kind of get pulled off that I like here before I'm up. So this just allows me to be a lot more like open to what I'm going to do on the 4-5 turn, especially on the turns. I think being giving yourself a build that makes you like allows you to be more flexible can be pretty valuable because you don't really know what the room's going to give you. You're like a little bit more at the mercy of the room. So I think staying a little more flexible, like open is kind of the better way to play it. Um you definitely can kind of build like different ways. Kind of depends who you like on those turns too. So I'm about up here. So I'm probably gonna grab George Kittle and a receiver here. So I'll grab Kittle first. I really like where he goes. I really like the value on him. I think he can compete with Bowers and McBride, and you're paying a lot lower price. And then at receiver, I'm pretty open to any of these 3 guys. Uh, I don't really have anything that anyone plays into right now. So I'll grab DK. I think he could just kind of be, like high volume in that offense, even if we don't have a ton of confidence in the Steelers offense. So I like him, Zay, and Pickens there. I also like Ridley too, but I think out of those guys, I just kind of mix it up. I don't want super high exposure of any of the 4 compared to the others. Um, oh, Fantasy Football Garage, 100 people is relatively small. Yeah, yeah, with a final that size, like, I don't think it's I mean, it's still a good amount of people, but, like, you're probably not gonna be heavily duped on your lineups. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 players, but your lineups aren't likely to be super copied where, like, in a BBM where it's, like, over 500 people, I believe, um, you run that more of that risk, so you gotta do maybe stuff a little bit more to get unique, where I think with the smaller final, you can get unique and then you're like 100%, like you're only maybe there's only 10 teams in the entire tournament that are like that. But I think with that smaller final, you just don't have to worry quite as much. And maybe like with the smaller final, you don't have to worry quite as much just about being duped like with your lineups and everything. So it does make it a little nice. And it feels like you actually have like a lot more realistic shot to win it. Oh, JT Best Ball. Yes, sir. Been saying the same thing about Kittle and Hawk. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think when I was on your stream the other night, I think we were actually talking about that. Um, and yeah, like I like Hawk too, where he goes. Like, I definitely agree with that. But like to me, I think Kittle, like, he's not really lesser than those top 2 guys like Bowers and McBride. I mean, even last year he was right up with them in scoring. So I think where he goes, it's like a huge value. And I mean, Hawkinson, like I like those mid round guys too. I think Hawkinson's a good value. There's a lot of tight ends that are a good value, but Hawkinson can give you that realistic, like top tier ceiling like these guys too. Like if Hawkinson finishes as a top 3 tight end, you wouldn't be surprised at all. And you're getting him in the 80s where you're paying a price like, in the second round for Bowers McBride or even in the fourth, fifth for, Kittle. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that too. Thad, QBs matter. Yep. Yep, of course they do. Of course they do. And, I mean, QBs matter. My build doesn't look too great for that right now, maybe, with, Tua, Purdy, whoever's in Pittsburgh, hopefully Rodgers. At least we got Chase. He has Joe Burrow thrown to him, so that one's not too bad, but if QBs matter, this might not be the lineup for you. the the QBs with these guys are not the best. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I really like starting like this, getting either like I like Jalen Hurts here too. Like if Devonta was there, but getting that elite tight end kind of figured out that lets me kind of punt it off, maybe stop at 2, probably stop at 2. But I can kind of go however I want here. I probably won't go 2 receivers. I'll probably go receiver running back, but I could go 2 receivers if I want. So it really leaves me open, kind of like I was saying earlier, just like on the turn, it just leaves me open to building through like best players available instead of kind of being locked into a certain build. So here I'd either grab Quinshawn or Pollard. Quinshawn does have the same buy, which I don't love, but it's not too big of a deal. I do like Pollard quite a bit. I have a ton of Quinshawn. I'm gonna grab Pollard over Quinshawn. I think that's a tight debate. And then I think maybe I'll grab a little bit more consistent guy with Jacoby, just since I kind of have Tyreek and DK who might be a little bit more spiky up and down. I do like Ricky a lot. Like you can see, I have a lot of Ricky. It's just that new like hamstring injury. I kind of want to see a little bit how that plays out, especially already having so much. And then I already had a ton of Quinshawn, and his bye week was the same as Bucky, so I leaned slightly to Pollard. But I think Pollard, Quinshawn, that's close. Jacoby with any of these receivers, I think is pretty close too. I was just thinking kind of because I have maybe a little bit more spiky guys. Maybe I'll get a little bit more consistent, just kind of target guy. Um, I mean, I think at that turn there were a decent amount of options though at both positions, so I don't think any of them I could have really went wrong with, but that's just kind of why I lean the guys I did. Um, oh, JT Best Ball. Which side of board for me? Back half Hawk is around ADP, whereas yeah, early part Kittle does. That's kind of how I play it. Oh yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense because Hawk usually goes on the right side. I will say though with Hawkinson, he can kind of slide some. Like I've seen him fall mid to late 80s, but if you're getting him around ADP, especially if you really like him, like, yeah, he's more of a right side of the board guy. And then Kittle's almost always on the left side of the board, like right around that 4 or 5 turn or like early to mid fifth. But I've seen him slide a few times, but Hawkinson, he seems to slide a lot more often, which I guess just being a later pick kind of makes sense. You know, the later you go, the more guys are likely to slide, which does make sense. But yeah, I mean, I like that play. Like if you're on the right side, Hawkinson's kind of the target. If you're on the left, Kittle's kind of the target. That totally makes sense to me. Um, See, and then if I'm on, one second. If like I'm on the right side too, especially if I get like something that goes with Hawkinson, like if I can get an Amon-Ra or like even JMO like they did here, then I'm really, really looking at Hawkinson. Or you can even do Addison probably went around here. Oh yeah, Addison went right there. So yeah, like I could see any of these three teams that have the Detroit pieces or the Minnesota pieces really looking at Hawkinson. Um, yeah, he's probably coming up in or oh, okay. Okay, right. So he just went to the Amon-Ra drafter. So that makes total sense, right? Because he's stacking up that Detroit Minnesota game. So yeah, like I think especially because you can stack up that game a lot easier on this side of the board. You know, maybe you can stack them up with like Gibbs or something kind of closer to the middle. But that makes total sense too because you can really build out that week 17 with Minnesota Detroit. So yeah, I like that call. And then Kittle is maybe a little bit harder to actually build out like right here with Chicago. But I kind of got some other builds I'm kind of working out right now going. So we'll kind of see at this pick what I'm looking at. I could look at Burden to go with Kittle, and that opens up Chicago. I'm definitely gonna look at Emeka because I already have Bucky. Okay, so Emeka goes. That's fine though. Um, okay, so I'm gonna grab Burden to go with my Kittle. I could do a double tap and just take Caleb here. It would be kind of a skinny with just Burden. I don't have DJ Moore or Rome, but I do have Kittle as the bring back. I could look at Jaden Higgins, but he doesn't really go with anything. Um, I think I'll just grab Caleb here. I really like Caleb, and then I already have that game kind of built out a little bit. Uh, and then I can maybe get Loveland on the way back. So then I can really kind of build out that stack a little bit more and build out that game a little bit more. Um, but I really like Caleb there, and then I didn't really have any other QBs that went with my build, and I feel like QBs might kind of get like snapped up. I also like I don't have a lot of good QBs that go with this build in general because I have Jamar Chase and I didn't get Burrow. He went at 63. And then Tyreek, he goes with Tua. That's fine, but he's kind of a later QB. DK doesn't really have a solid QB. And then same thing with Jacoby. He goes with a late, or same thing with him and Tyreek. They both kind of go with later QBs. So this kind of gives me access to a QB like in the good window. And then I kind of have that game already built out by taking Kittle and Burden. So I kind of like that there. It is a little thin for a bear stack, but I like doing that double tap sometimes if I have Kittle. Um, oh, JT best ball. Yeah, when he flips into the eighth is when I really smash. Oh, with Hawkinson, yeah, yeah, definitely. If he falls a little, I really have a hard time passing on him usually. Like usually if I pass on him in the eighth, it's only for like structural or if I already have a tight end or something, but I really like him there as long as he fits the build. Um, Fantasy Football Garage. Hawk gets some nice pairings on that side of the board. Yeah, definitely. Cause like you can get a Monra. Well, Monra definitely goes on that side. Jameson kind of goes all throughout the fourth now. I'm seeing him get pulled up more, but he kind of has a little bit bigger range. But you can definitely grab Jameson on the right side. Addison usually goes on the right side. And then, like I think in this one too, Aaron Jones went at on the right side turn. So yeah, you can get tons of pieces of that game, especially on the right side of the board. On the left side, it's a little bit tougher unless you get a faller on Jameson, you kinda have to pull up someone to get something on the left side, because Addison pretty much always goes, like, right around 60 to, like, maybe, like, late 50s to early mid 60s, and then, obviously, a Monra goes back half of the first. JMO will usually maybe fall to more mid 4th, but not all the way to the end. So, yeah, definitely the right side, like, you can really build out that game pretty well. Aaron Jones kinda goes around there. I think Mason you can grab kinda either just because he's late enough, you could pull him up if you want. But yeah, it definitely is easier on that side of the board. So I'm still a few away, I'll go back to the board. Um, so yeah, I'll kinda check, just kinda see what other people are doing in here. This one was kinda I noticed it earlier, but with the Amon-Ra team, so they grabbed Amon-Ra, and then they went Derrick Henry, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, which is pretty interesting, kinda have the hero wide receiver, and then they got Olave, Ricky, TJ Hawkinson, Keon Coleman, Goff. Um, I think that's okay. I mean, they got Hawkinson as a game stack, so it's not too bad to grab him there, but they definitely are gonna need more volume at wide receiver. They definitely need to stop at 2 QBs. Loveland goes right before me. Um, okay, so right here, I'm definitely gonna grab a running back for one of my picks. Uh, I don't have much Charbonnet, so I'll just grab him here, a little bit of a value, not much, but a little bit of a value. Um, I could look at Drake May, but I do have quarterbacks built out for later. I'll actually grab Besh. I'll pull Besh up a little. I like Tootin a lot too, but I'll pull Besh up. That way I have the Las Vegas double stack, which that feels pretty nice. And then I can get some Giants bringbacks like pretty late with like a Wandale or a Slayton or something, or even like a Theo Johnson really late. He does have the same bye week as my tight end though, so maybe not. But I can look at the Giants wide receivers late for kind of a bring back. So that might be okay. And then now I have Vegas double stacked. So I'll have to keep an eye out for Geno just when he goes. And then at running back, I could have grabbed like a Tootin or an ETN, but I feel okay with these three to start. Um, and then I'll probably stop at two tight ends. So that might give me room to put a little more volume at like running back. So that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. And then I'm looking at quarterbacks a little bit later with either Tua, Jacoby, or not Jacoby, Gino with Jacoby and Besh. And then if I really get boxed out, maybe like Rogers. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I was thinking about Drake May a little, but I think, yeah, Kyle Williams was already gone, so he didn't really have anything that fit in with me, so that's kinda why I passed on him there, and I didn't have any Jets or anything, so I didn't really have anything to, like, build out of that with. I do like Drake May a lot, though. I was thinking about that a little bit at, my last pick. Fantasy Football Garage, good coach speak lately on Myers and Besh with new wide receiver coach Beatty. Could be consolidated targets with those 2 and Bowers. Oh, yeah, I mean, I definitely would lean towards that. I think that like, obviously, I have Trey Tucker and, I think his name's Dante Thornton. His last name's Thornton, though. But they're kinda just more like deep threat field stretcher guys, which I think they'll get a couple big plays throughout the season between the 2 of those guys. But I think Besh and Jacoby are gonna, like, kinda dominate targets at wide receiver. Obviously, Bowers is target number 1 on that team, but I think at wide receiver, Jacoby and Best should dominate targets. But that is good to hear though that they've been getting good coach speak also. So yeah, I mean that's always good to hear, right? Especially when you when you already picked both of them. When you built out the double in that, and then you see that they got good coach speak, that always sounds good to me. But but yeah, I mean I will mix in like Trey Tucker, Thornton a tiny bit. Like I wouldn't on this build since I already got 2, but maybe if I really got boxed out and I only had Jacoby and I was stacking them, like if I got boxed out at QB and I'm going Jacoby Geno, Maybe I would add in like Tucker or Thornton in the last round, but I'm not too in on them just in like a vacuum. Like I would only really put them on Raiders builds where like Besh or Besh or Jacoby feel fine. Give me just one. All right. Sorry about that. I had to answer a phone call really quick. Oh no, yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, I had to answer a phone call really quick. Sorry about that. Um, Okay, yeah. So at that turn, I grabbed Goddard as my next tight end. I didn't like a lot of the options. I was thinking about Bigsby or Algier maybe, but I think Goddard's a good value there. And then I did decide to pull up Geno. I was thinking about letting him ride to the next turn, but I saw Tua was already gone, and I really didn't want to risk a guy that I have double stacked, especially when I don't really have any other quarterback outs. Like, in a vacuum, I like Young or Penix, and I coulda built out, like, a Bryce Young thing maybe, like Young Thielen, I coulda double tapped, but I really wanted to grab my double stack that I already had built out, rather than kinda build, like, a thinner bet on Young Thielen or something. Um, and then Goddard, I just picked him more. I just thought it was good value there. He was kind of the last tight end in the tier. Like Ertz, Freiermuth, Henry, you see Pitts and Strange already went. Those guys are a little bit lower tier to me, so I just kind of liked Goddard there, like as a little bit of a value. Um, and then like I said with Geno, I already saw Tua was gone with my Tyreek, so I really just didn't want to risk that he would go off. Like if like Bryce Young does make it back, I will probably grab him, but I don't think he will, but if he did, I'd probably grab him. Um, I wanna see real quick where Tet went. So the Tet drafter only has 1 QB, that's this one. So they should take Young here, I'd imagine. Um, oh, 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 Fantasy Football Garage, thought you were just being focused, LOL. Oh, no, no, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry, I just had to mute it for a second. Never mind. Yeah. Fantasy Football Garage. I'm a big fan of pulling Geno up there. Crucial for this team. Yeah, I agree. Just because like I don't really have any other good outs. Like I could have done Young Thielen double tap. I looked at that a little, but I'd rather just get my double stack locked down. Putt Daddy. I absolutely reach for the double stack when I need to. That's just good football. Yeah, yeah, I agree because like that's a big core of my team, right? I already made a huge bet on the Raiders passing game. So to try to build out some other backstack over that or just grab like some value and possibly lose that. 'Cause, someone has Bowers and maybe I could have looked how their QB situation was. But people just grab random QBs sometimes, especially with this many like, with the badgeless people, like they could be really good drafters, but you just don't really know. Um, wow, Thielen made it all the way back. So I'm gonna grab Braylon Allen here for sure. I like him. And then I could grab Thielen. I can't stack him anymore, but I do like Thielen here. Um, I could grab Ertz. I don't really have anything with him, but I like him here. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Ertz. Yeah, because I believe I can still get Slayton, and I think I only want 7 receivers. So that should feel pretty good if I get Slayton on here, and then that goes with my Vegas. That's why I want Slayton. I like Thielen more than Slayton, but just as part of that game stack, I kinda like, Slayton there, and he should still be available with my next pick. So that way it gives my tight end room maybe a little bit more strength. I maybe didn't need Ertz having Kittle already. Um, yeah, maybe I didn't need Ertz, but I also don't really need, like I don't really need an 8th receiver, I don't think, so it was a little tough. I just like Ertz value. Maybe I should have looked at running back, but I really wasn't a fan of like who was left after Braylon. That was a little bit of a tough spot. Like when you're on the turn, it can be a little bit tough. Bad. Yes, fuck pushing players. Get your guys. Hashtag get your guys. Yeah, exactly. See, Thad knows. Thad knows ball. So if he's saying that, that's how I know it was the right move. But yeah. JT best ball. Goddard lets you leave it at 2 tight end, gives more flexibility. I like it there paired with Kittle. Well, you probably don't like it now. Oh yeah, okay. Or or not, LOL. Yeah, I should have it was tough. So the reason I grabbed Ertz is I could have definitely stopped at 2. I 100% agree with that take. And that was kind of my thought originally. I really feel like the fall off at running back is pretty big after I took Braylon. So I I wanted a player that I took the player that I liked more, and I was originally thinking I would grab Braylon and Thielen, but I kind of realized I want to stop at 7 receivers, and I didn't really need Thielen when I'm gonna grab Slayton probably on this next turn. Um, so it just made it a little tough where I didn't know where I wanted to go. Maybe I should have just grabbed Thielen there. I did. It's tough. I like Ertz. I think he does give me some good floor since Kittle's a little bit spikier, and so is Goddard. But I could have grabbed Thielen there and just like kind of pivoted to 8 receivers instead. Um, I could have grabbed a running back, but it was a little bit of a tough call there. Maybe Ertz wasn't the best pick though. I don't hate it on this build, but I do get what you're saying, like with the stopping at 2. That could have been a better call for sure. Um, JT best ball, it's all good. The 30 you added isn't a bad pick, and yeah, it gives you more strength in the room. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is like it does make the room stronger, but I didn't need him. But I also didn't really need Thielen on this build. It was a tough spot where I didn't like the running back. Like running back is what I wanted, but I really didn't like the options there. So it just made it tough. Um, Fantasy Football Garage, Goddard never plays a full season, always injured, so I don't mind 3. That is true. And I mean, Kittle, like he stayed healthy recent years, but it's not like he's exactly the picture of health. So it's not, I mean, it's not like the worst pick. So I'm gonna grab Slayton there, like I was saying earlier, to get my bring back. And then I'm gonna grab Jarquez Hunter, I think. I like him. I like Neil, but I like Jarquez Hunter's upside a little bit more. So that feels pretty good. Um, that feels pretty good overall. I'm probably looking at a 6th running back now. It feels okay though with where it is. I don't really need one. Um, I could look at an 8th receiver. I don't think 8th receiver. Obviously done at tight end. Um, Probably either a 6th running back or I might look at like Jackson Dart to go with Slayton. So those are kind of what I'm debating between right now. And then just running back, there's like a couple guys I might take. Can't take Corum because I already have Jarquez. Could look at Ford, Chubb, Jordan James. Is kind of a bring back. I'm a Chicago. Taj Brooks is fine. So either Dart or one of those running backs most likely is my last pick. So I don't really hate how that turned out taking Ertz because I think I wanted to stop at 7 receivers anyway, and I wanted Slayton. I don't really think Hunter's much of a worse bet than some of these guys, but maybe grabbing like a Jalen Wright over Ertz would have been a better call. and then I could have grabbed Hunter still. And then in the last round, I could have looked at like a Theo Johnson or Dart as either a third QB or third tight end just to give me that more correlation, but at like kind of a lower cost if I went tight end with that pick. So maybe like Wright over Ertz would have been a better call. Um, or okay, yeah, I read that. One real time Slayton. All right, all right, yeah, hell yeah, dude, Slayton got the Raiders, so he fit perfectly in this build. You know, I mean, where he goes, he's a decent pick. He's a spike week guy. He can give you some weeks that are usable in the 16th round. So, I mean, I'm fine with that pick even on a non-Raiders build, especially if you just kind of need like maybe a guy who can spike some weeks for sure. Nick Bocklage, what the fuck? Nick Bocklage, I'm pick you. There we go. There we go, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah, on Sunday, I'm doing a stream with Nick Bocklage, I think. We were talking in the DMs a little bit. And yeah, I think on Sunday we're doing a stream on his channel. So check out Nick. And obviously the other people, check out JT Best Ball. I did a stream with him a couple days ago. Fantasy Football Garage. I've been on his channel a few times. We played Jeopardy against each other. But yeah, I mean, I assume you guys are subbed to all those channels, but if not, definitely check out those three. All right, so last pick. Okay, so Dart went right there. So I'm just gonna grab a running back. Um, Woody, Jordan James, Taj Brooks. I don't know. Does anyone have a lean? Um, Probably gonna grab Jordan James just as a bring back. Um, yeah, I'll grab Jordan James here. That feels good. Okay, so I got Jordan James. It like timed out, so it's not showing it, but that's who I got. Uh, so I'll go back to you guys real quick. JT Best Ball. I really like Giddens in that Hunter Deloyd group. What are your thoughts on him? Um, I really actually I'm gonna review the team real quick and then I'll get back to you in just 1 second. The thumbnail is spicy. We'll drop it today. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that sounds cool. I don't know. It's always interesting what Nick Bach will cook up. Uh, I'm a little worried, but a little excited. Actually, I'll get to this right now. Sorry. I really like Giddens in that hard leg group. What are your thoughts on him? So I like Giddens too. In there, um, I think he's a perfectly fine pick where he goes. He does have upside to work in, and JT has had some injury struggles. The only thing that worries me about DJ Giddens is that Khalil Herbert is also on the Colts. Um, so that's the main thing that concerns me with DJ Giddens is Khalil Herbert is not a bad running back, like as a pure runner. So with Giddens' lower draft capital, it concerns me a little until we get more camp news. Now, with that said, I am taking Giddens and I haven't taken a single share of Khalil, but it concerns me just a little that maybe his role isn't as secured as we hope it is. So that's kind of how I'm viewing Giddens, but I would definitely pick him. I would probably let me just scroll back down here real quick, actually. So I would probably take Jalen Wright over him, but I think how this went, like I think Giddens and Dobbins, like obviously Dobbins he's kind of in his own unique situation, right? Because he's not signed. But like I would take Giddens probably over Justice Hill, probably over Lloyd now with the news, over Brashard Smith, Ford, Neal. I think Hunter and Giddens are actually a pretty good debate, but I'm pretty in on Hunter, so maybe I'm a little biased. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm viewing Giddens. Like I like him, I like the upside, and I don't think JT's always been healthy, but I think Khalil Herbert's maybe a little more real than we want him to be. Um, Fantasy Football Garage. I haven't gone Jordan James since the big board, but I liked him back anyways. Yeah, I haven't really. I mean, I can look real quick. I'm sure I don't have much. Oh, that was the first time I took Jordan James apparently because my exposures are all like up to date in here. So that's apparently my first share. I just grabbed him because I had the Chicago stuff. I didn't really like most of the running backs left, so I figured I would just throw him on the end. It's not showing him, but that's who I got. Uh, but yeah, and I already had the SF Chicago game kind of built out a little bit, so that was just why I leaned him. But apparently, that was my first share post draft. JT Best Ball. Herbert doesn't have the juice Giddens does. I hear you though. Very take. I like his tape a lot though. Oh yeah, yeah. I agree. Like I was super in on Giddens. I mean, I'll actually when I jump into the next draft, I'll show you my big board exposure real quick. You can see how in on Giddens I was, but it just concerns me a little. And obviously JT, if he's healthy, he's had really high snap shares in his career when healthy. They don't like to take him off the field a ton when he's, fully healthy either. Um, Nick Bach, I think Estime is a good click. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I coulda looked at him. Was he oh, no, he was already gone. He went 18-4. But yeah, I like Estime too. He got some good coach speak recently too. I think especially as, like, a potential goal line guy and maybe even a little more, I think he could be a good click. He's in a good situation in Denver. Um, all right. So I'm gonna go over my team really quick, and then I'm gonna hop in another pug. Unless you guys prefer something else, I'm probably just gonna hop in another 20-second pug. Um, all right. So at QB, I got Caleb Williams, Geno Smith. That feels okay. It's a little bit light at QB. I was hoping to get Tua to go with my Tyreek, but I feel okay with a QB room like that, although probably not ideal. Kind of on the turn though, you kind of got to go with what the room gives you. And I got boxed out just a little bit of the guys I wanted, or like I would have looked at Dart in the last round. Um, so I got a little bit boxed out at QB, but not terrible. Uh, Running back, I got Bucky, Tony Pollard, Zach Charbonnet, Braylon Allen, Jarquez Hunter, and then Jordan James was my very last pick. So I feel good with a running back room like that. I got two starters, a better kind of contingent guy who might actually mix in, and then just three like contingent guys. I like building running back rooms like that. That feels pretty good. Bucky's kind of my hero RB, picking him in the second round. And then at receiver, I got Chase, Tyreek, DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, Luther Burden, Jack Besh, Darius Slayton. So I got Besh and Jacoby with Gino, and I got Slayton as a bringback on that Vegas. And then I got Luther Burden with Caleb, and I have Kittle and Jordan James as a bringback. So at receiver, I feel pretty good with that. I got like maybe a little bit of risk just with having Tyreek, DK, and like some rookies down here. But I think it's a good mixture of like upside and floor. I like this wide receiver room. And that tight end, I feel super strong with Kittle, Goddard, Ertz. Maybe didn't need Ertz. We were kind of talking about that earlier, but I feel okay getting a room like that at tight end. I mean, I feel really strong with that, but I feel okay with that like capital spent. It's not like too terrible. Um, but yeah, I actually feel pretty good with this team overall. I think just quarterback's kind of weak. But I feel like it's pretty good overall, like solid build throughout. It's just that quarterback feels a little weak, but not terrible. Um, all right, so let me just check real quick. Totally agree. He's more of a great upside click if JT does get hurt. Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with that for sure. He's a good contingent bet. Um, Meat Gazer, Heart Man, emphasis on man. Thanks, Meat Gazer. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, brother. Um, all right, so I think I'm just gonna rip another pug. I will do a countdown quick if any of you guys want to jump in. So I'm doing the 20-second, and I'm gonna enter it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, waiting on 7. So if anyone wants to hop in this pug, then go for it. Come draft me. Let's see how you guys build it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really liking this pug contest. It's I really like the structure on these, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream. Like just the structure on these feels really good, lower price point. so it's not too like cost prohibitive to jump in them. Um, Oh, yeah, I was, to JT Best Ball, you were saying you really like Giddens, I'm gonna while I'm waiting for this to fill, I'll go to my pre-draft exposure. So, pre-draft, I did 260 drafts, these were, like, the drafts I did, so I did pretty much everything. I only did 1 biggest board. That was a little bit, like, on the higher price point entry for me, but everything else, I think I maxed everything except for that one. But yeah, the exposures. So at RB, well, I had Harvey the highest, and then Keaton Mitchell. Um, but DJ Giddens, I had almost 30% of them. So I was very in pre-draft. But where he went, not the greatest, but he goes about the same ADP he does now as he did in the pre-draft, so it doesn't actually feel like too bad. Um, I'm gonna just pull this up on my phone to make sure I don't miss the draft starting. Uh, Sorry about that. Okay. I just wanted to have it ready so I can see when it starts. Um, Fantasy Football Garage. At this rate, we might get some new tournaments as soon as next week. Yeah, well, so I mean, I maxed it this morning, but I think the Hound Dog's full, right? Yeah, the Hound Dog's full. That one's gone. So yeah, I mean, the Pug might fill. The Pug might not fill till next week, but maybe with it being the weekend, it'll fill faster. Um, but yeah, hopefully they drop some more tournaments next week. Maybe like a normal puppy or something like that to go with the super flex one. Um, they might want to let the super flex be like stand there for a while though. I'm not sure. Hopefully though, I mean it's always great when there's more contests in the lobby. Um, What's up, good people? What's up, Al Boogie? Thanks for stopping by, brother. I'm hopped in 20-second pug right now. It's at 9 to 12. It's waiting on 3. So I don't know if you got any left, but if you want to hop in, uh 20-second pug plus 3. Um, oh yeah, but yeah, what's up, Al Boogie? Thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, Schnauzer about to fill. Yeah, you're right. You're right, actually. What is that? What is the Schnauzer at? I maxed mine already. I maxed mine like a couple days ago. 92%. So yeah, that one's about to fill too. Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. Like even another Schnauzer, like so Pug 11 to 12. But yeah, even another Schnauzer, anything like that. Even those 20 maxes, those feel pretty good too. So I don't know. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It's always cool when they drop more contests. Um, Al Boogie just finished 4 Hound Dogs at the same time. Don't recommend anyone do that many drafts at the same time. Damn, Al Boogie. Yeah, that's for the professionals. I can I limited about 2. I can do 3 like on the computer, but like I usually will stick to 2, like multi-tabling 2 at the absolute most. Um 20-second pug. It's +1 now. If anyone wants to hop in, help me fill it quick. It's 11 out of 12. Al's giving away free EV. I've seen Al Boogie build some teams, but that's probably about as much EV as you're getting in Al Boogie room when he's doing 4 of them at once. Al Boogie got 2 schnauzers left, waiting till last second. Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I did mine when it was in like the 80s. I feel like around now, like I don't know, most of the like kind of sicko people already went. So, but yeah, I get waiting till the very last second when people are maybe kind of trying to jam them. Maybe you get some auto drafters and stuff too if they didn't do too many yet. So I don't think that's a bad call. Uh and the draft starting. So let me go to that. Okay, so I got the 2 pick. Uh Probably Jefferson or Lamb here. I mean, unless Chase falls, but let me go to the draft. Okay. JK Al, did you do similar team builds at least? Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea so that you can like kind of keep track of them better. I definitely do not do that when I multi-table. I just feel each board, each room is its own unique experience. Chris, you ain't lying, giving up EV. Yeah. No, they were all different. Yeah, see, I kinda do mine more similar to that when I'm multi-table, like, if they end up being similar, it's fine, but I don't necessarily, like, try to do that. I get the idea, though. Uh, so here, um, I don't know, this is a small field thing. I'll just grab Lamb. I like Lamb over Jefferson in a vacuum. You know, it's not I wouldn't totally recommend it, but I like doing that. Oh, and I didn't check. Did anyone get in here? Oh, Al Boogie, you're at the 12. I didn't even see you there. Yeah, I'll keep an eye. I'll keep an eye on what you're doing. I don't think. Oh, Crossface is in here too. I don't know if he's in the like watching the stream, but Crossface is in the room too. Um, I think that's it. If anyone else is in here and I didn't like say it, let me know. Yeah, you were in line. They were all different. I kind of do a similar thing. I don't really keep my builds super similar, like on purpose. If they end up being similar in multi-tabling, that's cool, but I don't like prioritize it. Uh, Putt Daddy, I can do 2 drafts at once if 30 seconds, and that's pushing it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I will give you that. On the 30 seconds, it's not bad, but with the 20 seconds, sometimes if they line up where they're both about to be up, you can get in some trouble doing that. Oh, Al Boogie Pucks. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Al Boogie, glad I'm at 12 so Hartman can't snipe me. LOL. I mean, you never know. You never know. I can try to pull some guys up maybe or something. But no. No, yeah. It's always better when like if we're in the same room being further apart, it always makes it feel better. Oh, crossface, yo here, also multi-drafting. Oh, okay, crossface. Thanks. Here. All right, so you guys are both going hard. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just chilling, doing one at a time right now. I don't I mean, I think multi-tabling, it can be fine if you're like especially once you kind of get used to like how the board goes, like it's not too bad. Like I know Crossface does a lot of drafts, Al Boogie does a lot of drafts, so you kinda get used to it. It's not too bad, but you definitely gotta be paying attention or else it's real easy to make mistakes or be like, "Oh, I'll grab this guy because he goes with this build," and then you're like, "Oh shit, that was the wrong team." It's actually, on this one, you have McCaffrey, so you're like, "Oh, I'll look at a Bears guy to go with McCaffrey," and then you look back and you're like, "Oh shit, the other team was the McCaffrey team." So, yeah, you gotta be careful, but it can be pretty fun to multi-table too. And then I don't know, it kinda keeps you more, like, entertained and stuff, at least for me. I see Al Boogie already getting value. See, this always happens. I don't know how that guy gets so lucky. Nico Amonra start, just right off rip. Like, every time I'm in a room with Al Boogie, people just he has something about him, people just push value. Crossface kinda interesting, McCaffrey Bucky. I think that's an interesting start. Um, I definitely don't mind it at all. So I'm gonna grab Jacobs here because he's the last running back I like. I could look at T. I don't really like the bye weeks matching up, and I am probably gonna look at another Cowboys receiver in like round 5. So I don't like grabbing T since I know I'm gonna be looking at or a week 10 bye guy, but he's okay there. Jacobs was kind of the last RB in the tier for me, so I like grabbing him. And I still like quite a bit of the receivers. I do like McBride. I like Terry. I like Rice a lot. Um, I'll grab Terry to go with my Lamb. That feels pretty good. Build out that game. I don't get to a ton of Terry. I only have 4.5%. So I have a ton of McBride, ton of Rice. So I'll grab Terry there just to go with my game stack. Maybe I get lucky and I get Jaden, but even if not, I can look at Dak later and I kind of have that game built out a little bit more. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Glad I'm at 12. Uh, Kelly Lapidus. I like the 8-hour time frame. Oh, you like the oh, yeah, yeah, the slows? Yeah, I I'm honestly not much of a slow drafter. I'll do, like, a couple, maybe if it's a contest like the Hound Dog when it was getting close, I was thinking about doing some slows. It ended up working out where I had time to do like the fast for it. Cause just like with like just real quick, my like schedule, like Monday through Thursday, I don't do as many drafts, just like work, all that kind of stuff. So I would have probably done a slow if it was filling then, but with it filling like kind of like last night or this morning, I was able to get them in fast. But yeah, I think the slows like you can definitely be more what is it? Like you can kind of plan out your builds better. Where in a fast, I feel like sometimes you're just kind of going and you plan it out still, but maybe you don't like think multiple rounds ahead. Where in a slow, you can really like plan it out and figure out what you're going to do this round and how that affects next round and after that. Or like I'm going to build this game stack and that should fall in line with like this piece here, this piece like 2 3 rounds later. So yeah, I mean, I think doing slow drafts is definitely, I mean, if you enjoy it, then like more power to you. I just love the fast drafts. I'm not a big slow draft guy. Thad, hell yeah, Kelly. Uh, Thad, I'd rather jump off a skyscraper into oncoming traffic than draft Rice at ADP. At that ADP. That's yeah, I know you're the premier Rashi Rice hater. I figured I was thinking about taking him there, but I knew Thad might never come back, so I couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk taking Rice ahead of ADP. Maybe if he's at ADP, I might get a pass, but I'm sure he wouldn't like it, but I might get a pass. But yeah. Yeah, it is a little early, especially when you can get them in like the mid third still. I'm in on Rice, but I know you hate him, but if you're gonna pick him, it might be a little early. Um, Al Boogie, you can get a lot of plus EV and slows. I don't mind them. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a ton this year. I did a lot last year. I might do more this year, but I mean, I guess you can get more EV, just like people will let you push stuff more. Damn, Jaden Daniels one pick before me. That's crazy. So I'll grab Jameson here. I just like him over the other guys. Uh, yeah, I don't really have any correlation. I just like Jameson better. Um, but yeah, no, that is true in slows. You can get plus EV. You do get some really weird rooms in slows. I've noticed that before. But you never really know. Like sometimes in a fast you'll get a weird fall too. But I don't hate that call. Um so I'm gonna grab Pickens here to double stack my Dallas. And then I already have the bring back. That was what I was thinking earlier, like why I was kind of not grabbing like the week 10 buy guys like Higgins or Rice because I could have, but that way it works out pretty good. And I kind of knew I was looking at Terry. So now I have that game really built out. So I feel pretty good with that start. I kind of got my anchor RB. I got Terry and Jameson. Jameson's not really correlated, but I like him where he goes. And then with Lamb, Terry, George Pickens, I have that game built out really well. Um, Al Boogie 11 holes onto something. Oh, I just saw it. 11 holes onto something special. Yeah, I did a stream the other day and someone did the same thing. Like, eh, like the thing, like, okay, bully QB is not a good strategy, right? But if you're gonna do it, why do people do it with two QBs that have the same buy? Like I would never really do bully QB. But if I was going to, I would at least get one of the two and like pull up Jaden Daniels or I guess even Jalen Hurts, but probably Jaden Daniels. Like now you either have to take a third QB at some point or you have to just eat a zero at on week 7 when they're both on bye because they have the same bye week. It makes no sense. Like I really don't understand the idea. Maybe it's like auto draft. Could have been auto. They both might have been top ADP. They did take Brian Thomas in the first though, so they definitely picked that one. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna look real quick at what Al Boogie's doing, and then what Crossface is doing. And then my pick should be about up. So Al Boogie started Amon-Ra, Nico, Tet, Addison. Really like that receiver room. I love Tet McMillan. So I really like that. Kyron and Kenneth Walker at running back. So 2-0-2-4-0. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really solid start. That's I don't know. I wonder, are you a little worried about Addison with the suspension stuff, or not really? Because it'll only be like 2 or 3 games if he does get suspended. I wonder how you're feeling about that. I've been clicking him a little less just because of that, but I don't mind the click there either. And then you did have a Monra, so he's a bring back, so that totally makes sense. Um, so I'll probably grab David Montgomery here. I could grab a receiver. Actually, I'm gonna grab Judy. I'll grab Judy here. I like him a little bit better than those other receivers. And then I'm hoping Montgomery or Caleb Johnson makes it back. I'm fine with either of those running backs. Caleb Johnson has the same buy as Jacobs. Don't love that, but it's not really a big deal as long as he makes it to me. If he doesn't, then maybe I should have grabbed. Okay, he does. Yeah, I like Judy just a little bit more than those other receivers, so I kind of wanted to favor him over the running back first. Um, let's see. Uh, he got Zay to fall to him. He knows what he's doing. Maybe he does. He might have the master plan. He might have the code. He's giving up week 7 so far. Yeah, because he has. Yeah, wow, that is crazy. So 4 of those picks, all week 7 buys: Henry, Allen, Lamar, and Flowers. Yeah, that is crazy. I guess I didn't even think about that with stacking up the Ravens that hard. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily expect when someone starts double elite QB, I don't really expect them to build the most like strategically like well-built teams in general though. But yeah, that is pretty wild. Um Thad, I'm doing bully QBs if they play each other week 17. So is that like Josh Allen and Hurts? Or like who are you considering? Cause to me, like, let's say I grab like Josh Allen. I mean he plays Hurts, but like let's say I grabbed like a QB in the higher end. Like, would you call like Jaden Daniels and Dak a bully QB? Because like to me, I think that's just fine capital. I think the only one you can really do is Hurts versus Josh Allen. That's the only one that would really be a bully QB. Um Al Boogie, not really, especially if I have 3 solid receivers to hold it down. Yeah, that's fair with Addison, you're saying. Yeah, that's pretty fair. And he only had a DUI. He's probably only gonna get suspended like 2, 3 games at the most. So that seems totally fair. I don't think he'll take too much of a hit from it. Um, I do think though, like ADP wise, I do wonder if he'll drop a little when it comes out. But you also had the stack, so I definitely think like it's perfectly fine pick where you took him. Um, Judy, yep, yep. That's a Thad approved guy. I know that one. I know he's Thad approved. Um, Fantasy Football Garage, just move Addison back near ADP after slightly fading him before. Even with suspension, he's just not, or he's just good and scores touchdowns. Yeah, and he's definitely one of those better in best ball guys. Like he can give you very real spike weeks. So that I definitely see the case for it. I'm playing a little bit of the ADP game, like fading him a little, but I'm not like full fading him by any means. I just think that like in best ball, we love to like double count stuff on guys. So like he's maybe a little suppressed now, and I wonder if he'll get even a little bit more, maybe fall to like more of that like end of the 6th round range by the end of it. All right, so I'm about up. Uh, so here, um, what am I really looking at? Probably Jordan Mason. Yeah, definitely Jordan Mason first. Um, And then I don't really have any QB. I don't have any QBs that go with it. I could look at Fields, just like unstacked. I'm not really picking Jonnu right now just because all the rumors. Jaden Higgins is kind of a tier above at receiver. So I'll just grab Higgins. My receivers feel super solid now. Definitely gonna stop at 7. Um, and then Dak should be there when I come back. I have him double stacked. Maybe I should have just reached up and grabbed him. The teams after me all have QBs now, so there are also a lot of QBs left. I could have reached up. It just feels like pretty like it feels really early, but maybe I should have reached up and grabbed him. That might not have been the worst call. Um so Al Boogie, agree, Chris. He can spike at any time with Addison. Yeah, yeah, and he's a big touchdown scorer too. So that totally makes sense. I think he's fine where he goes. I think he just like ADP game, he might fall a little. But this is also a time box, so I guess that doesn't matter at all. Now that I'm thinking about what draft this actually is, then the thing I'm saying actually doesn't matter for this contest. But yeah, he's fine like where he goes. And like you said, you already loaded up on receivers kind of early, so you should be good. Um, Thad, yup, Allen and Hurts, Mahomes and Bo Nix. Mahomes and Bo Nix. Um, I guess that's kind of bully QB. It's not crazy capital though. I guess you could call that bully QB. But yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. I think the only downside of picking two QBs in the same game is you limit like your outs because they do play each other that week. So like if that's not the game, then you probably don't win the finals. But I don't really think it's a terrible strategy if you think that's the game that's going to pop off, especially. And if that's how you like kind of always build, then you should have a lot of the games covered by the end. Um, I bet you're right about the suspension causing him to fall more. In that case, I'll have a big bag. Oh yeah, and like for me, I'm fading slightly right now. But like let's say he does get the suspension and doesn't fall, I won't be fading him at all even then, even if he stays the same ADP. It's just more of like an ADP play for me by a little bit. It's not necessarily like player take. I like Jordan Addison. I just think if I can end up getting him maybe closer to 70 later, I don't want to get a bag now and then have like a giant bag at the end. I just want to be able to get a bag then and maybe be overweight on them, but not do it like early and then be even more overweight. Um, all right. So right here, I am looking at Dak goes on stacked. You love to see it. I'm gonna just grab shit. I'll grab CJ Stroud with my Jaden Higgins. Yeah, kind of messed that one up, I guess. Huh. I really didn't think. And he had Knicks too. I guess he had Knicks on stacked. So fair enough. Um oof, that kind of got me there. Uh what can I do? What can I do? I could reach up on Love, hope I get Kraft back. Probably not gonna work out. Uh I could grab Jack Besh, go for another. I mean, I like Loveland the most, but Besh gives me a quarterback out. Um, yeah, I'll just grab Besh as a seventh receiver. That gives me another quarterback out. Uh, yeah, I should have. It's tough. I don't know, like, cause at 98, like that's so early for Dak, especially with Kyler and Nix and like Field still on the board. But I mean, with how it worked out, I should have picked him there. I don't know. It's so hard on the turn because I had him double stacked. Like this guy took him with no correlation at all. He doesn't have anything Washington. Um, yeah, he doesn't even have like B Rob or Debo or anything. So like it's tough. It's tough to like I don't know. I mean I should have picked Dak at 98, but it's just I thought he had a good chance of making him back, but maybe not. And I thought Higgins also was like a big tier break at receiver. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would have been better just to pull Dak up. I mean, it would have been hindsight, but I don't know in general if it was a good call to push him or not. Um, Thad, yup, Allen and Hurts, Mahomes and Bo Nix. Or okay, yeah, yeah. Uh, Thad, if you pick two QBs or two tight ends in the first 8 rounds, that's a risk. Okay. Yeah, I think if you're calling that the line, I think that's a fair spot to draw the line for like bully QB, bully tight end. Yeah, because actually that is fair now that I think about it. Because if you picked like if you went like Hawkinson Laporta, you could definitely call that bully tight end. So I guess if you're going Knicks Mahomes, that's fair to call that bully QB. That's fair. Thad, I rarely do it. Okay, yeah. So if you're doing it just on occasion, that's pretty fair then, yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that call. Because maybe that's just a game that pops off, right? Especially if you have good conviction in both those QBs or they really fit kind of like the narrative you're building in that draft. I don't hate that move at all. I mean, I've definitely done that too. Like I've done ones before. I think I've done Allen and Hurts once because I got Hurts back in the fifth, and then I had like AJ Brown, so it actually worked out like decent with that build. So yeah, I don't hate that. Kelly, I know the feeling of getting sniped at QB. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think we all know how that we all know how that feels. Like, it happens. I mean, it's just part of the game, but I don't know. It is tough when you're on the turn to because like in hindsight, obviously it's better to just grab your guy, especially when you have the double. It's just so hard when you're so far away and you're kind of reaching. And especially like for me with Higgins there, because I like him so much better than those other receivers that were left. Um, yeah, it does just make it tough. Okay, so I need to start figuring out what I can do at QB. I could grab Bryce Young and build through him. I don't really have any more spots left at receiver. Uh, I'm not gonna grab Jake Ferguson because I already have Dallas double stacked without the QB. Um, this is tough. I don't know. I could grab Bryce Young here. I could just grab. I'm not gonna grab JJ. He has the same buy, so I could grab Young or Penix. I'm gonna have a real hard time stacking either one. Um, I think Kyle Pitts is gone, so I'm gonna grab Young, and then I can still grab like Thielen or Coker or Leggett, and then I can grab Jatavian Sanders. Um, yeah, that one that one just kind of hurt, but it's fine. I mean, I don't actually hate this build overall. It's just like my main thing I bet on. I didn't get the stack, so it definitely hurts a lot. But like the team as a whole, I don't really hate how the build is coming along. It's just the lack of correlation is going to really hurt this team. But as far as like the actual build of the team, I'm pretty okay with that. Uh sorry, Putt Daddy. Yeah, this is a pug. So, let me go back to the board real quick. Sorry. But yeah, this is a pug. This is my second pug. Out of the three, I might do the third one. Um, but yeah, this is a pug right now. Al Boogie, I do too. Kelly Hartman, get you too. Um, why? Who did I snipe? Oh, you have T-Mac. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I knew yeah. That's right, Al Boogie. That's what you get for always sneaking in and getting the values. You should have said something. You should have been like Penix, Penix. but but yeah. Yeah, my my bad. No, but real time, my bad, Al Boogie. I didn't mean to snipe you, but I got I got kind of locked out. I didn't really know what to do there. And with Pitts gone, like I don't know. Who could I Oh, and CJ. Oh my god. Alright, let me go through real quick. That's crazy work by me. The week 7 buy counter is at 7 right now for the 11 spot. Oh, I'll look at that in a second. I kind of forgot that they went with the double elite, but oh wow, haha. And the sniper continues and CJ. Man, my bad, Al Boogie. I just was on a mission this draft to ruin Al Boogie's team, apparently. And it's all because of Wally F taking my Dak Prescott. He put me in a blender, and I just said, my team already lost. Time to ruin Al Boogie's team too. If I can't win, neither can he. Uh, no, that's my bad though. I mean, the Stroud pick I think makes sense why I did it. The Bryce Young pick was like a total snipe. That's my bad. Um, I was scrambling. I was out of options there. Um, that is funny though. I can't believe I didn't even think of that. I can't believe I did that. You have a Nico and T Mac. Like I can't believe just like the odds. Like I just sniped both your guys. My bad, Albie. Uh, all good. All right, thanks. Yeah, yeah. And seeing you did the double game stack. I saw because you have JJM. Um, Adam Thielen goes one pick before me. You love to see it. At least they got me back. That one was for Boogie. Uh, so we will take. I could grab Gino. I have Bash. Actually, I kind of like that. Let's just grab Gino here, and then I'll grab a tight end. And I'm just gonna kind of punt tight end, I guess. Uh, Gino with Besh, that's fine. I mean, obviously the correlation is not great on this team, but um, it doesn't feel too bad. I like Ertz the most there. I do still have this Dallas Washington game built out, even though I don't have the quarterbacks. I have the game itself built out. It's just I need one of my quarterbacks to basically outscore those guys. So I mean, I think that's okay, and that maybe made me lean a little towards Ertz. Also, Fryermuth was a little scary with the trade rumors now. I could have grabbed Jalen Noel, but I really don't need another receiver. I mean, he is stacked, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a tough spot. Honestly, this room's got me in a little bit of a blender. I'm just kind of I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. I don't have too much of a plan in this one. The uh the Dak Prescott pick threw me off my game. Um Wally, LOL. Yeah, Wally had me cooked. Uh oh yeah, I haven't really looked too much at Crossface's team since the beginning. So let's see. I think I looked at your team when we were through like 4 or 5, but I haven't looked since then. So you got CMC Bucky, and then Harvey, James Conner, and then Eckler. So great running back room. I mean, I love that running back room. You got JSN, Devonta Smith, Steph Diggs, and Mika. Okay, so JSN, Devonta Smith, Steph Diggs, and Mika. You got Justin Fields. I like that pick. I mean, I love Justin Fields. I have a ton of Justin Fields. Drake May with Diggs. That feels pretty good. Yeah, love Drake May too. Marvin Mims. That's fine. I'm not too in on Marvin Mims, but I mean, as your fifth receiver, upside swing where you got him. I don't hate that pick either. And then you got Romeo Dobbs. See, I mean, your receiver room, I think for as much running back power as you grabbed early, the receiver room feels totally fine. You have some upside swings in there. The receiver room feels fine. Running backs are obviously like incredible. Quarterback feels great, even with just those two. And then you got Njoku, Hunter Henry. That feels totally fine with two. I mean, I'll kind of see how you end it out, but I think team's looking pretty solid overall. Crazy strong at running back, really good quarterbacks. And then I assume you'll probably throw a little more volume at receiver. But you look okay, definitely given your start at receiver too. Um, Nick Bocklage, what the fuck? What the fuck, brother? I know. That's what I said when I looked at my team. It's ass. That's what Al Boogie said when I sniped both his quarterbacks. um, I'll actually check out. Let's see how Boogie built out of the snipers in this room. Uh, so you got Amon-Ra, Nico, Tet, Jordan Addison, Mooney. So killer starting 5 receivers, then Keenan and Slayton. Yeah, totally fine there. So yeah, really good receivers. Then you got Kyron, Ken Walker, Aaron Jones, Ramondre Tank Bigsby. So Kyron Walker, Jones, Ramondre Tank Bigsby. That feels pretty good at running back too. I like that running back room. Um sorry. Uh yeah, it feels pretty good at running back. I will grab Jalen Wright here. I don't have much of him yet, and I do like him. I think he's getting some good coach speak and stuff, looking good at practice. So I'll grab him and then either Schultz or Cade Otton as a second tight end. I'll probably end up going 3-5-7-3. That probably sounds like the best move right now. Um, there we go. That probably sounds like the best move right now. They grab Cade Otton. Hopefully, I get Schultz back here. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. That's good. Um, Kind of weird they took Jatavian. All right, that's fine though. Uh, oh yeah, but yeah. So Boogie had yes, your receivers were really solid. Running backs look pretty solid too. Um, you got Goff and McCarthy at QB. I kind of wonder, like, why not stack up Nico or Tet with their QB? But I think getting Goff McCarthy is fine. I think that's fine. And then you just have you have Warren and Jonnu at tight end. So that's good. You're good with 2 with that. Um, yeah, I mean, I think the team looks pretty solid. You got snipers in the room taking some of your stacks, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I meant to look at them. Um, which one? They're this one. Okay, so they have both quarterbacks week 7. They have Derrick Henry's their only running back, but their other running backs, they have 3 week 10 buys at running back and the week 7 Henry, obviously. At receiver, they got 1, 2, 3 week 7 buys, Zay, Keon, and DeAndre Hopkins. And then at tight end, they have Andrews and Likely. So 2 week 7s and then a week 8. But yeah, so their running backs too are kind of cooked with the week 10. They just threw on another week 7. They got Derrick Henry's backup. Um yeah, that's a pretty wild build overall. I mean, they have 1 week they're kind of cooked at running back. I mean, I guess they have Henry and Kamara, so they're okay. And then 1 week at receiver, they're just gonna have BTJ, Jalen McMillan, and Tyler Lockett. And then 1 week at tight end, just Brandon Strange, which that one's fine, I guess, whatever. But yeah, so they had 3, 5, uh, 6, 7, 8, 9 players with a week 7 bye. That's that's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. So are they gonna cover up the QB bye week? No, they grabbed Devin Neal. So week 7 at QB, they're just taking a 0, full on, just straight up 0 at QB week 7. 9, half their team has a week 7 bye. Devin Neal's week 11. He's the Saints, right? So yeah, crazy. And that was a 2-7-7-2 or 2-7-6-3. It's only 6 receivers with Brian Thomas, Zay Flowers, Keon Coleman, Jalen McMillan, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett. So quite a build there from the 11 spot. This room is 1 out of 11 advanced now with a build like that among us. Al Boogie, I'm dodging bullets, Nick. Al Boogie, I wonder why too, Hartman. Yeah, no, it truly is a mystery. It's just, the snipers in this room, those dirty snipers. Terrible. Um, but yeah, all right. I'm on the clock, so I could grab Chig here for another tight end. Probably receivers are totally good. I'll probably just grab Chig. That feels fine to me. Um, yeah, Chig feels fine. So it's, I mean, it came out all right. I just the build itself and the capital feels perfectly fine to me with my team. I just didn't get like any good correlation I wanted with my QBs to receivers. with the early picks. So like it feels really weak in that sense. But the actual like where I put capital, how the positions individually are, I feel pretty good. Um oh yo Hartman, what's up? What's up, Typhel Tower? I assume this is Emo Cowboy. But what's up, bro? Uh um okay, so I just finished this one. Um Give me 1 second. Uh Sorry. Okay. So on this team I got uh oh Typhel Tower, yeah, banging out the ish. Banging out the ish. Oh, I do not copy. Yeah, banging out the ish. Oh, bang. Oh, okay, okay, got you. Yeah, yeah. All right, yeah. Um, so on this build, so I got CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Geno Smith. Feel good with that QB room, but obviously, like I was saying earlier, the correlation, the stacking, I like it really didn't fall into place with this one. But actual capital and the players, I feel fine with. RB Jacobs, Caleb Johnson, Jordan Mason, Rashad White, Jalen Wright. I feel totally good with that running back room. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Uh, Wide receiver, I have CD Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Jameson Williams, George Pickens, Jerry Judy, Jaden Higgins, Jack Besh. So obviously, for any of you that didn't see, I was aiming for Dak. He got sniped just like 2 picks before me. Uh, that kind of that kind of spiraled the QB plans out of the way. But as far as just the receiver room in general, I feel pretty good with this build. It's just that I couldn't get Dak on it. But actual capital, I feel pretty good at the receiver room. And then tight end, I got Ertz, Schultz, Chig. I feel fine with the tight end room like that. It's maybe a little bit weaker than I would normally build, but I did kind of have to like plan out to get some stacks and stuff a little bit later, with the QBs and stuff that maybe I wouldn't have like aimed for. I took Young a little early. Yeah, I feel like it came out okay. It's just that the correlation's really lacking. But actual capital and position wise, I feel pretty good about this team. Um, LOL setting up all or Temple Tower. LOL setting up all the shit. I'm too loose my slang. Nice pug. Ah, thanks. It wasn't too nice, but but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of got what you were saying. It took me a second, but but yeah, yeah. And Typhel Tower, they just started streaming on that channel, on the actual Typhel Tower channel last night, and doing like head to heads and stuff. That was pretty cool. Crossface had to play a little catch up at receiver. I'll look at your team right after, and then I'll check out Al Boogie's real quick. Uh, I'm actually gonna hop off after this one. I'm gonna look at your team and Al Boogie's, but then I'm gonna hop off. I was thinking about doing a third one, but I do have an appointment in like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to hop off after this one. Um, on real time cowboy, sup, Dad? All kosher, no splash. Slanging and banging. There we go. There we go. Um, all right. So I'm gonna look at Crossface and Al Boogies. And then I'm gonna hop off, I think. I'm gonna look real quick at the actually I'll just because this one will only take me a second. The one team, the double elite QB. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, both week 7 buys. Then they got Henry, Kamara, Pollard, Pacheco, Tajay, Hill, Neal. Pretty good RBs, but 3 week 10 buys, 2 week 7 buys, got their own backups for Henry and Kamara. Receiver, Brian Thomas, Zay Flowers, Keon McMillan, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett. 3 week 7 buys, weak receiver room. And then tight end, Mark Andrews and Likely, both week 7, and then Strange, week 8. So, at least on the upside, we're all getting one extra shot to advance in this room. Um, But all right, but I'm gonna look at cross faces and I'll look at Al Boogies. Um, so crossface, you went Justin Fields, Drake May, Jalen Milrow at quarterback. I really like that quarterback room. I like throwing Milrow on at the end just for like some upside. I think you definitely could have stopped at 2, but let's see. Do you have oh right, you have JSN. So yeah, I really like throwing Milrow on at the end. He could have big upside, especially late in the year, with his rushing upside too. So love that QB room. At RB, you have McCaffrey, Bucky, Harvey, James Conner, Eckler. So yeah, like crazy strong RB room too. So it makes sense your receivers would be a little bit lighter. And then at receiver, you have JSN, Devonta Smith, Steph Diggs, Amika Egbuka, Marvin Mims, Romeo Dobbs, Michael Wilson. Um, Yeah, I think it's a little light. I think that you're banking like on either Diggs to come back and be ready right away or a Mika to kind of produce right away. I think with Smith and JSN, those starting two are fine as your 1 and 2. Um, Maybe it would have just been like going away from like I don't know, maybe like going away from either Fields or like your third or fourth running back. But I do like those guys where you got them at running back and with Fields. So I think at receiver, you're like good enough to get by, especially if Diggs is healthy week 1 or Amika is kind of having a decent role week 1. But it is a little bit more risky. And then at tight end, and then you had Mims, Dobbs, Wilson. I think, Dobbs, he's a guy who's going to see the field run a lot of routes. Mims has some upside. Wilson could maybe, he's going to be running routes. So maybe that's a good kind of ending to it, even if it's a little lighter. You did get some decent volume. And then in Njoku, Henry, Arroyo with your Milrow, JSN. Um, that feels solid at tight end. See, I mean, I think it's a little light at receiver, but you're so strong at QB and running back, and then you're really solid at tight end. You could definitely make it through. And then once Diggs is kind of more healthy, or if Amika starts a little slow once he fully comes on, it could be like a crazy strong team. So yeah, I like that build overall though. Yeah, good team. Good team. Um, and then Al Boogie. Oh, Fantasy Football Garage, catch you later, dog. All right, see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, thanks all you guys for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent with the streaming and stuff too. I just kind of figuring out schedule and stuff. Um, Yeah, leave Connor, grab another receiver is what Al Boogie said. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty fair too. I mean, you can definitely try out the different builds, and your running back room's crazy, but I think maybe that would have been a little better. But it's debatable. I think it's definitely a viable build. It's not like so crazy that you like really hurt your chances or something. Um, Al Boogie later, Chris. All right, yeah. Oh yeah, see you, Candyman. So Al Boogie's team. Let's see it. Let's see how he how he worked out of the snipage. Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart. So I feel like that's a pretty solid QB room still. Um, yeah, Goff, McCarthy, Dart. That feels pretty solid. I like that QB room. And then you got Kyron, Walker, Aaron Jones, Ramondre, Bigsby. Good RB room, real solid. You got two like solid starters. Aaron Jones is kind of the 1A in Minnesota. Um, Ramondre should have a good role early. Maybe he holds on to it longer. Bigsby just kind of for that upside shot. Maybe he takes over the backfield. Like that RB room. Um, and then at receiver, you got a Monra, Nico, Tet, Addison, Mooney, Keenan, Slayton, Deami Brown. Um, Kind of interested why you threw on Deami Brown at the end. Maybe you just like him, but it feels like your receivers are actually really strong. I don't dislike the pick. I'm just a little curious, like in this build. I guess you didn't really need a running back. You were good stopping at two tight ends. So I guess maybe just the upside swing is what you were thinking, which is totally fair. Um, Maybe you could have. I don't know if you like him at all or not, but maybe you could have thrown on like Theo Johnson to go with your dart, but you didn't really need him. So I don't know. I don't hate the Deami Brown pick. I was just a little curious if you had strong opinion on him. But yeah, receiver room overall though looks super solid. You got Addison with McCarthy. You got Amon-Ra with Goff. Obviously, that's week 17 also. and then you got Slayton with Dart, and that's actually a week 16 correlation. And then Jonnu and Warren, that feels really solid at tight end. Um, yeah, I mean, I really like the team overall. You definitely made it out all the snipage. You got a great value on McCarthy too, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. 156. So yeah, I mean, that team came together really well, I think. Yeah, nice team. Um, took him for Indy comeback. Who who's the Oh, with Warren? Okay, with Tyler Warren. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, cause right, cause like you're doing like minis with it too. Cause you're doing like Kyron and Mooney. Okay, so like a mini game stack. Okay. That makes total sense. Yeah, I see it now. I didn't put it together at first. That makes total sense. Uh Tight ends are a little weak. I think you're fine with Jonnu and Warren. I mean, because where Jonnu goes, I mean, we're picking him like he's almost like an elite tight end. So not elite, but like in that Hawkinson tier. So like I don't think it's too bad with those two. Took him for indie comeback. Yeah, him or MVS. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I see what you were saying now. I kind of missed it at first. Yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I think Crossface and Al Boogie, I think you guys both built solid teams. I think my team was all right, just the correlation was light. You still got yours like pretty well correlated, even with me sniping you. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for me for this one. I'll definitely be back on tomorrow, probably around noon Pacific. Um, yeah, thank you guys all for stopping by. Thanks for jumping in some of the drafts with me. I really appreciate just having you guys in the chat, having you around. It makes it a lot more fun, a lot easier to do. So thank you for stopping by. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, hopefully. And peace.